Hello guys, my name is Kunene LT and I'm going to explain the process of my project. My project is a GSM based fire alarm system. Here we have my post that I'm going to use to explain the project. So at the first page we have the problem statement and the description of the project. So my problem statement goes like, nowadays, almost everything we use in our life is electrical, and that may result in unforeseen hazards such as fires. The program description is that when the fire breaks out, the 10K thermistor will detect the change in temperature, the LDR will detect the change in light intensity, and the MQ2 smoke sensor will detect the presence of the smoke. And the GSM will send the SMS to the owner notifying the owner that there is fire. And here we have the block diagram. So the block diagram shows the components that I have used. My inputs are the power supply, LDR, MQ2 smoke sensor, and the 10K thermistor. And the microprocessor that I've used is the Arduino Uno. And the outputs are the GSM, LCD, relay, buzzer, and LED. And in this page, we have the flow diagram, the flow chart that basically explain how my project works. So in this flow diagram, we have the start, which is where at the right here we have the flow chart. The flow chart basically explains how my program goes by. So we have the start and the inputs and outputs. The inputs, as already stated in the block diagram, are the MQ2, the 10K thermistor, LDR. My outputs are LCD, LED, buzzer, GSM, and relay. So when the program goes by, each component that I have used is going to evaluate the environmental state. So when the components are evaluating the environmental state, the MQ2 will detect whether there is smoke or not. The 10K thermistor will detect whether there is a change in temperature or not. The LDR will detect whether there is the change in light intensity or not. If all of these three components detect a change in the environmental state, the red LED will go on, caused by the MQ2 when it detects the smoke. The yellow LED will turn on, caused by the LDR when it detects the change in light intensity. The buzzer will make a sound alerting the nearby people of the fire. The GSM will send the SMS to the owner alerting him or her about the fire, and the LCD will display the readings of the temperature. And if all of these the three components that I've used do not detect the change in environmental state, the green LED will stay on, the GSM will not send the SMS, the buzzer will not make any sound, and the LCD will still display the readings of the temperature. Right here we have the schematic of my project. As you can see, the circles indicate that these are the components that I've added to the original project. So as you can see, these are the wirings between the microprocessor that I've used, which is Arduino, and the other component that I have used. And this is the PCB that came from the schematic of my project, and the PCB serves as a Arduino shield. And the last page, we have the photo of my project on a breadboard when it is working. And right now, I'm going to explain how my project works. So once there is fire, the smoke will fill the room and the light intensity will change. So the LDR will detect the change in light intensity, and once it has detected the change in light intensity, the yellow LED will light. And when there is fire, we all know that the temperature increases. So when the temperature increases, the 10K thermistor that I've used will detect the change in temperature, and the LCD will show the readings of the temperature. So when there is smoke, the MQ2 will detect the presence of smoke, and once it has detected the presence of smoke, the buzzer will go off and the red LED will light, and I will receive the SMS from my phone indicating that the fire has been detected, receiving the message from the GSM. And the buzzer will alert the nearby people of the fire. And that is how my project basically